Hi everyone. I'm just couldn't find my glasses, so I think I'm late. But here I am with my glasses. Hey, welcome to what is it? It's the fourth. Is it the fourth? Yeah, the fourth heart to heart in this series. And today I'm gonna talk with Sìne. And as most of you know, Sìne is my co-writer. And today we're gonna talk about our co-writing together. So we're gonna talk about our process, the benefits of that, what we learned from it, the struggles that we encountered, also how it gives us accountability. So yeah, I'm just gonna. I see she's already here, so I'm gonna bring her in and let's see what we go up to. And this is of course like especially if you want to do co-writing, or if you have been like, maybe there's someone you think you might co-write with very well, but you don't know really, is this the right thing to do? So if this is something that you considering, don't hesitate to ask your questions and just because maybe we'll have some advice for you. Okay, she's in the corner, so let's see if it's always a surprise. Yes, it's working.
It is working.
I hear you as well, and I don't think there's a lag.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
fix your hair.
Hold
Just
on.
fix your hair, okay?
I just have to turn you down. My hair? Yeah, because I napped.
Hey,
I brushed
welcome.
it.
I'm very proud of you. So, because people do not know that we work together a lot, and not just in the writing.
Hmm.
So yeah, so this is going to be, I think, very healthy banter that we're going to have today.
I hope so.
Um, yeah. So if people are like, "Who are these people?" Yeah, we know each other really well, and
Yeah.
this is just how we roll. This is just how we roll. So this is going to be fun because you promised me that we'll have an honest conversation. So
When am I
I
never
do
honest?
expect when I ask you about how what a pain it is to work with me, you tend to hold back a little bit. So let's see. Let's
Oh,
see today. Okay, so I have to save my voice, of course, because I've had this massive cold for ever and ever. So, do you want to talk about? I cannot even remember how we. Was this my idea?
yeah, it was all your idea.
See,
As things
um,
tend
I,
to be.
yeah, yeah. So, okay, so it was
Yeah,
my idea. So, what can you remember what happened? Like, how did I do that, and what was your first thought?
it's a good question. That
It's been a
was
while.
not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I think you just sent me a text like, I think we need to do this.
As I do.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, what would that look like? And then you already had a list of what you thought it was going to look like. And then we kind of just went over it from there, I think.
Did I immediately come up with the process, like how I envisioned the process?
Uh,
I don't remember that. I wouldn't be surprised, but
I don't know if you didn't have all the details, but like with the first book, um, you knew what it was going to look like.
oh yeah, the content. So not the process, but the content of the book. Like
Yeah,
I
it was
knew
just
this
like,
is,
yeah, I
yeah,
have this. And then we started riffing, um, just texting back and forth on that first outline, filling in the gaps.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, it's been a while, but
And
that book is now
then
that book is now finished and
that
waiting to
is
get
finished.
published. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. And then you were saying,
Um, and then I think we just kind of fell into the process because you were too busy to write the first draft at that point.
oh yeah, or that's my excuse usually because I'm just not really for
You
the
were
first
fixed in.
of the writing process. The first draft is the only part I don't not love it, but it's the hardest for
Hmm.
me. Like I love
But
the
also
plotting.
you
I
were
love
way
everything.
overscheduled at that point.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
You were way
So I had this
overscheduled.
story that needed to get out,
Yeah.
but I didn't have time to do like for me, because for some people, the first draft is the easy part.
Hmm.
But for me, it's the hardest part of the process. Once I get over the first draft, everything after that is just like rainbows and flowers, and I'm having fun. But that first draft thing, that's difficult for
Yeah.
me. And you, at the same time, you were struggling because you had trouble plotting new projects, right? There was
Yeah,
something
I
about, like,
do
I
in a
had a plot
way.
ready. Yeah.
I'm slow burning on making new plots. Um, I'm coming to realize it's not necessarily a difficulty. It's just like when I write for myself, I write big, huge literary, thick
Yes,
books.
you do. You do. Yeah.
And I think at that point, yeah, I had put fletching down at that point, and I was working on another book, which I have since put down again in favor of fletching. But yeah, that book is massively plotted as well. So
Yeah, that just took you a long time, didn't it? Like, I remember
it
that.
just
That
it
was what
takes me a
you were
long
working
time to
on at that time.
see all the collection, the
Yeah.
connections and stuff because with fletching, I mean that's been in my brain since high school.
Yeah.
And I always thought that the secondary character was the main character, and it wasn't until I switched perspectives that I saw how the story actually went together.
Yeah. So you had the story, you just needed the point of view.
Yeah, well, also it filled in a whole bunch of things. So it's like, oh, why is this character like that? And I was like, oh, that's what people will actually read.
It's nice when that's sort of like when all these little puzzle pieces are
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, yeah, this makes sense. And I'm actually glad that you say now that you write big literary books because I remember the day your editor told you that it was actually literature that you were doing.
Hmm.
And I'm glad that you decided to listen to your excellent editor.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I'm glad that you're embracing that. But that is true. Yeah, Fletching
Yeah.
is going to be a great book one day. Yeah, but I have the same with my own project. Um, that's kind of like this is my high school project, my own
Yeah.
project, and that just goes slow because there is something very particular that I want to say,
Yeah.
and it takes me a long time to figure out how to say it. Yeah.
For sure.
So I think sorry. I think one of the things for me was like maybe we can do this fast, fun project together
Yeah.
because
It was. And
it's
to
going to be
learn
fast.
learn how to publish so that when we are ready to publish our big mammoth books, that
Yeah,
we kind of know the process. And I
yeah,
think that has worked. I think it's made the thought of processing it all solo that much easier because we know what it looks
yeah.
like
Because
now.
you know, yeah, you go through the yeah. We're going through, and of course we went through the process because we have now two anthologies out,
Yeah.
so we do know the
Yeah.
process.
And we have the publishing process, I think,
Yeah,
pretty much down at this point, between us anyway.
yeah. Between us, yeah. Like I wouldn't like without like I don't know where I would be without you because
Same.
like that's no, but
Just
at
got me
some
lost.
point, like this
Yeah.
is the thing. It's like for like with the anthologies, and also I think with this project, like for the
Mhm.
longest time, like I'm kind of in charge
Yeah.
because I do like this is a, like I also do the like when I put it down long enough, I also go over the language again, like put
Yeah.
it through all my software and everything, and like now it's up to you. Like
Yeah.
you're the one who has Vellum. You so now for me it's like this is the book. There you go. So now you
Yeah.
take over. You make sure that like the cover, like so you will do the publishing end
Yeah. All of
of
those
it. Yeah.
funny little things that I have to fight with Vellum over because it won't let me override those things.
Yeah, but you're good at it.
I'm getting there.
You're good at it. Yeah. So yeah. So this is it's good. I remember that now. It was also one of those. We're both in these massive projects. It will be fun to
Hmm.
have something with. I think for me as well, the stakes were less high because
Yeah.
I just wanted to write something fun and breezy.
Yeah. And it's so different than what we write on our own. So
Yeah.
it was kind
Yeah.
of
And
nice to just be
yeah.
in a completely different headspace.
Yeah. And nobody, like, no, none of us knew if we could write this. because none of us had any experience. Because so what we co-write together is where do you put the adverb? So it's LGBTQIA plus.
Mm-hmm.
The whole acronym.
As one of my
sexy
little students, alphabet soup.
Alphabet soup,
That's what my students call
it. And then it's sexy romance.
Yeah.
That's the closest.
Yeah.
Closest subgenre
so.
that I think we can find, and we had no idea. Like I'd never written any.
No, I mean.
Yeah.
My only exposure was, when I was a kid, and Dad noticed that Mom and I read a lot, and he signed us up for a book club that would send us 10 books a month, and he didn't realize that those were Harlequins. So that was my exposure.
See, I know this story, and it still cracks me up.
Right? Because I was 10.
Yeah. Oh,
I still read them.
This man is his level of being naive is just. I love him. Yeah,
I love you, Daddy, but consciousness level.
But anyway. I think he did well, because now we can
exactly. He didn't know how this was going to pay off.
Yeah, I'm also not sure whether we want him to read the book. Probably not. Hence the pen name.
There's not enough explosions for him.
Yeah. Oh, well, we should add that to the next.
Yeah, we could have Bond Girl.
Yeah, we can do something fun. Okay, so I think what was interesting is that we started talking about, so how are we going to do this, like as in a process. And then we said we're just going to try this, and then we'll switch roles after that.
Yeah.
And then
we realized that wasn't going to work.
Yeah, to see like maybe that will work better. Like it's always about like iteration, like you improve. And at one point we were just like, no, let's never touch this process.
No, because it just
so we got it.
By the time we got into, I think it was book 2, it was like, no, definitely this is the process.
Because that was actually when we started thinking about the second. So what we do. So let's just explain what we do. And of course there are a million ways of co-writing. We are creating a world. So there's a bookshop.
Yes.
For those who've watched the L Word, think about the little cafe at the beginning. Like they all know each other. They all come there. So we have that with a bookshop. Did I say book club?
No, shop.
Oh, okay. A bookshop, and they're all connected through that.
Yes.
And we'll write trilogies with all the couples. This is the plan. So about when we were finishing the first or the second draft of the third book, we were gonna think about the next one. I remember that you said, "I'll plot that one," and I was like, "Should we do? Are we gonna try that, or are we just gonna stick to what we know now?"
Yeah, well, I mean, it was in the summer when I was like, oh, that would be fun. Maybe I could plot that. And then my autumn blew up. So, yeah, and it just didn't make sense at that point because I struggled with book 2. Because book 2 was hard for me, the first draft.
Yeah, we still. I don't think we understand why.
Yeah, I vaguely understand why, but it was just kind of like the beginning of that spiral that rolled me into Christmas.
Yeah, okay, so it's not necessarily, it wasn't necessarily
it wasn't
the
a
process.
It's
just like sometimes life just gets completely.
My life just went crazy.
Yeah, so just sometimes life just gets really in the way, and you just have to surrender and just let go. Like this is just.
I had to ride the wave, but I did have a really good pocket, like end of September into November, almost November, I think, that I really got a lot done. So
yeah.
Which in hindsight is great.
Yeah. So shall we actually talk about the process? Like explain the steps.
Yeah.
Where did you go? And I'll take a sip before I have another coffee.
Yeah. So basically the way we've been working is that you plot. I do draft 1, you do draft 2, then it goes into beta. When it comes back from beta, I go through the comments, make tweaks, see if I completely agree, or if the reason why they're making the comment is because I need to make something clearer in the beginning. And then when I shore up what I think, I send it to you to buff again, and then we send it back to beta. And then we try to finalize after that.
Yeah, so for the first book, that's what we ended up, like after the second beta round.
Yeah.
We were done. I just need a proofreading, and of course, it needed copy editing. So I went over it. I'll talk about that in a second, like how I went over that, because that was a mind-blowing experience for me. How I did that. That was just so much fun. And then of course the proofreading. Yeah, it was like if you follow me on Instagram. Yeah, you've been part of this. You've been part of this exercise. It was really funny. So now we're at, because for NaNoWriMo, we're both working, or supposed to be working, I should say, because but it's not as if
I've been doing other things.
Yeah, we've been really working on
I've been really busy
on our day jobs.
Yeah.
So it's not a non-inspiring moment. Like it's not a non-inspiring.
Yeah, I'm writing lots of copy. It's just not my novel.
I have the same. I'm just like, can I just add that to my NaNoWriMo account? Like I'm adding web pages of stuff and course material. Can I just add that?
I still haven't seen what my web page looks like, but yeah.
Oh, we'll get there. A few days. Come on.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Come on. Yeah, and she's not watching, so.
It's fine. It's fine. I've been so busy. I'm like, oh, I need to message her. Anyway.
Yeah. So so this is what I'm gonna do once NaNoWriMo is over. For the second book, you've done the third draft.
Yes.
Okay, so let's explain. So this is also if you talk about iteration, like improving what happened. So the second book, we were both very unhappy with it.
Yeah, it just didn't. And I think you ended up replotting it.
Yeah. So and this is the thing. Like I still think something went wrong there plot-wise. So there was something not okay.
Yeah,
the arc wasn't. Yeah, there was something not okay. And it just actually in the end, sorry, it just needed a few tweaks. But like once I got the information, so what we did there was we did the same. So I plotted, you did the first draft, I did the second draft, and I was like, because this is my thing. It's like you were like, this book is not working, this book is not working, it's taking me forever, and I'm always like, no, you're beating yourself up over this. It's all good. You're being way too hard on yourself. And he's like, no. And then I got the book and I opened it, and I think I texted you like, fuck, it's really not working.
It really wasn't working.
You were right. Yeah, damn it.
And I think it was the first 5 chapters. Once I got past the first 5 chapters, it kind of was able to get something down. But yeah, that opening was trying to get the tone and to match up to the first one, because the first one was so easy.
Yes. So this is also one of the things. Like we had a production schedule, and we were both like, "What is this going to mean for our production schedule?" Because this is the funny thing about the first book for us, is that we plotted first draft, second draft, sent it to beta readers, and they loved it. So I think we were feeling quite
it was great.
Quite confident about our romance skills.
How fast things would go.
Yeah. And then the second book just set us back so much.
It did.
But this is about, like, at one point we just had to go like, let's accept this.
Yeah.
So what we did indeed, like, so I tried to write the second draft. So I buffed up the whole story. Didn't really work. Like I was like. I was quite frustrated, and then then I just went back to square one. I just started, like, I was going through it and was checking it plot wise, like what are we doing actually? What's actually happening on the page?
Yeah.
And then I did another draft. So actually, I wrote another draft. It means I wrote the third draft before we sent it to the beta readers. And then we send it with a big apology saying, this book is messed up. We need all your, like, just tell us. And then they got back to us, and like some of them saw it, like it didn't flow like the first book, but of course the first book was then already in the fourth draft, so that was already different. But like most of them were like, what do you mean something is wrong with this book? Yeah, so at one point it's good because it's been a few months now. In the meantime, you've touched it. You've written what should have been the third draft. So for me, it's going to be a really good exercise because I hope now I have the distance to no longer remember what a mess it was.
Yeah.
So I can see what's actually there instead of like, because I was just so focused on it's not working.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it was in much better shape. There was only a few things I think that I touched on, and yeah.
So this is like so even though we do have a schedule, like or a schedule, like a process down. Sometimes for some reason something doesn't work, and you have to be a little flexible.
Yeah. So like if I'm in the middle of a scene and something's not working, and you're awake, then I will text you, and vice versa.
Yeah. That is, and sometimes it's just like we need to have a call at some point this week.
We'll have a call.
And we'll just have to riff like, wow, we need to figure this out.
And when we do actually get together, like in Cyprus last time, we planned we planned a lot in June.
Yeah, I think that was the moment that it all came together.
Yeah.
So if you ever audience, if you ever need an excuse to, because we call this trip location scouting. And we did actually. We are using the locations that we road trip to in the third book.
In the last one. Yeah.
Yes, and actually,
and they become anchor points for the rest.
And our pen name, so our pen name is Heather McLean, and we use it as the cover photo.
Yeah.
So we actually use the pictures that we actually took ourselves.
It was actual research.
But that was great. Like I just remember us like on the veranda, just going, and then there was one day that we were at the beach. Like the one day we got the lovely sunburn.
Matching burns.
Yeah, it was fun. And then we were just drawing it out. Like I have it. Like I can't reach it, but I still have that. Like I have that with me. Like we mapped it out. Like this is when we realized, okay, so the central point is the bookshop. Yeah. And then we started like very L word. We started like drawing lines. So this is how
very much.
So they're sisters, and these are like, best friends, and these are like colleagues, and we just started, and then we can add someone here, and then I think we ended up with like 15 possible books.
Or series.
So the whole world came together while we were actually here. So that was fun. It's one of the reasons why I'm here. I mean, I feel like nonstop inspired, like if I have an off day.
And that's another thing that we had discussed was you're like, could I actually be here? And I'm like, yeah, you could.
We were there, and I was like, would it be possible for me to move here? And you were like, I think you can.
And there you are.
Here I am. Yes. And I still call it location scouting. It's the only not the reason. See, this is the fun thing when we get together. We just never stop talking. So we had a list of things we wanted to do. Where are we?
I don't know.
So what I want to say, so this is our process. We do it like this, but there are also people who actually sit in. So there are multiple ways, and there's one book by Joanna Penn on co-writing, and she discusses some of these ways. And some people just get together in a room, which is unfortunately.
And I've done when I was younger.
Yeah, with your mom, right?
No,
Oh,
I think the first time I published was, I want to say seventh or eighth grade.
oh yeah, I
So I
you
used
told me
to
about
do
that.
seminars in the summer at the university as a kid, and it would be like a big table process.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is people can be together in the room and just like sit at the computer and one is just
Yeah,
talking and the other is typing. Um, some
yeah,
people, I know Joanna Penn herself, she wrote a book with, what's his name? Thorne, something Thorne. Also with like the initials. I always mess up the initials.
I don't know.
J Thorne or something. Um, and what they did, I think, was they like he wrote a chapter, she wrote a chapter, he wrote a chapter, but they did go over it immediately. That's what I think, like top of my head.
Yeah,
So then, and we just do, you do the whole thing, and then you give it back, and I'll do
yeah,
the whole thing, and then, yeah, yeah. Which I think, because we write novellas, I think if it would be
yeah. I
whole
think if we were
novels,
writing
will be
something
different.
bigger, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to do that
Yeah, there would
going
definitely
over,
be
you know.
more check-in. Like, I mean, well, like writing a thesis, like you have to like pass it into your
Yeah,
supervisor before
yeah,
you can
because
move on to the next one.
yeah, because
So
these things are maxed. Like, what is it? What is the biggest one? The biggest one I think is 34,000 words at this point, I think.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah. So that's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're short, they're quick. I mean, when I'm doing the skeleton draft, we're talking chapters run between 800 and 1,000 max.
Yeah, and I double that.
And that's just me running dialogue and
Yeah. And then I double that usually because I add in
yeah,
the description and the moods and the,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So we get like somewhere between 30,000 and 35,000. That's our aim, I would say.
yeah.
It's actually, it was never an aim, but it's still happening
Just
naturally.
how
So
where it, yeah, just how it goes.
yeah.
Like I think I don't remember which one it was, but like after you had been finished with it, it was up to like 38, I think. And then I had to cut
Mm,
a lot.
that was book one.
Yeah.
But I did overdid it there a little bit. So there were a few
A little bit, but
scenes.
also there were things that I had written that needed to be cut. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so we,
And because some of the beaters were like,
yeah,
um,
there's too much of this. There's too much family stuff.
most of them actually were like, can this go? Can this go? Can this go?
Yeah,
And they were actually commenting on different sections, but they
yeah,
all had the same style. So we were
exactly.
like, you know what? This is just something that we need to get out. Just
Condense
summarize
and get
this,
rid
as
of. Like
in.
it needs to be there, but not as much.
Yeah, but you can do that instead of writing the whole scene. You can start this. You can start a chapter with a little recap. Oh, after a day
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this, and now we're back at the action. Yeah,
And that was
yeah,
also me getting out of lit mode and going back into fluffier because that's the kind of
yeah,
background stuff that you need in what I write.
yes. And this is one of.
So
I
I
think
had
one
to
of.
break
Yeah,
that.
I
It
think
was a genre
Sherry.
switch for me.
Yeah, I think Sherry. She's one of our beaters for that book. For
Hmm.
the first, she read the first book.
Yeah.
Because her life is madness at the moment as well. And I think she was the one who said, if I pick up a sexy romance book,
Yeah.
I want to escape from my life and
Yeah.
not like
Be
have
back
to
in
be
it.
about family drama. So we cut most of the family drama.
In a way, yes, but
Well,
yeah.
no, no, not. I mean, it's still there because it's
Yeah.
part of the whole thing. It's part of the
Yeah.
whole flavor, but we don't spell it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more condensed. Yeah,
Hmm.
and ever since we did that, like the
Yeah. It's
beaters were like,
much.
yeah, this is done. Publish this.
Yeah.
Yeah, fix some of the
Yeah.
commas. And then we're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been fun. Okay, so what I should have written this down.
It's on my WhatsApp feed, which you can't get to.
Yeah, we're both on our phones, aren't we? Funny.
Right?
Um, well, I wanted so okay, so what I think we touched that, like why this has been good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, so I do want to talk, like, because now we're talking about this is one big happy, we are quite happy together, like I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people
Yeah.
think we are together or should be together.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. Sorry, babes. Yeah, especially your friends. Your friends are the worst.
My friends
Um,
are horrible. Yeah, it's been a zero tolerance policy with them lately.
Very good, very good. Yeah, but we're very happy together as
Yeah,
co-workers. Yeah.
exactly.
So anything we're going to talk about the troubleshooting and about the problems that we encountered. We talked a
Yeah,
little bit about that because what
we talked a
happened
little bit
when
about
you couldn't,
troubleshooting, like,
yeah,
yeah.
what like when you couldn't finish that second draft, like the second book, when you couldn't finish it. Of course, I was first thinking she's just, making it harder than it should be. And she's like, at one point I
Not
was like,
that.
she's slacking. And then I saw it. And I was
I
like,
wasn't slacking. I was working my ass off, and it wasn't
yeah,
working.
yeah, so I took that all back. I was like, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So is there anything in particular that we are like, because this is of course, like if you do co-write, it is teamwork.
It is.
So yeah, so how, and I did promise them an honest conversation. So can we
Yeah.
diss up some,
I mean,
you
you
remember?
always tell me that. I don't know. I don't.
I
The
think
only
I'm
time I
really
get
hard to,
frustrated is with myself. You know, like with uh, that first draft of book two. I was just like, what is wrong with me?
nothing, baby. It's just
Like,
the
why can't I
world
get this?
intervening. Yeah,
I should get this.
yeah.
But yeah, so I think, well, in that point, I do need to be more vocal when I'm struggling, that I'm like, I'm not just blowing smoke. Like, this is, because I think sometimes you don't always pick up when I'm
No, I can
drowning.
be absolutely clueless. Yeah.
Yeah. And not just in this, but yeah, there's been several times where
Yeah,
you're
that
like,
was,
you never
yeah.
tell me anything. And I'm like, but I did.
Yeah, but yeah. But
I just, yeah. So
yeah, but
it's,
yeah. But you can be like, this is of course, and this is just our
yeah,
mode.
our dynamic.
You pick up on everything. Like when I'm just a little bit off, you know.
I know.
And I'm much more I don't exactly know what it is, but maybe less grounded. I don't even know what my body is doing most of the time, so let alone how I
Yeah.
know what others. And also, I cannot differentiate. Like I pick up things from other people, but
Yeah.
if it's much easier for you to go, okay, so this is this person's mood, and this person's mood. Oh, this is my mood. And for me, it's all
Hmm.
just one big thing, and I
It
have to
did
really
take me a
sit
long
for it
time to
for
be
a
able to do
day.
that.
Yeah, and I think I'm learning as well. But
Yeah,
it
I think a
takes me
lot of people,
longer.
and it's not just you, people think I'm more grounded. And so when I do have moments where I'm shaky, um, it looks like a minor tremor and not as
As if the as if
bad
the
as it feels like to me.
as if the ground just
Yeah,
disappeared from beneath underneath you. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yes, but I was thinking that's like maybe just the regular advice because we're on so many projects together.
hmm
It's always the communication.
yeah,
Yeah, because what I know, this is just a little warning for everyone out there, whoever thinks they want to work with me. Um,
communicate.
Communicate, because I think I am absolutely forgiving.
Definitely.
That is what I think. But
I
if
know.
you don't communicate and I don't know what's going on,
Then there's
I,
problem.
yeah, because I am forgiving, but I'm also, it's not because I'm a perfectionist. I think it's because I just know what I want. So
Yeah, you know what needs to be
I'm,
done. You can see the bigger picture,
yeah, yeah, and I
which sometimes
am
I always can't. But
always,
like if I'm going to be late with something, I tell you right away,
yeah, because, and
which hasn't been the case with some people. But yeah, it's never been an issue
no, and this is
because
my,
I
yeah,
tell you.
because I'm very flexible in that.
Hmm.
I always understand, but the thing I don't understand is that you cannot cough up and tell me,
Yeah,
um, I couldn't finish it. Like I was, I miscalculated the deadline. Life intervened.
Yeah.
That happens, but
Yeah.
you just tell me. And this is the thing, is because I was gonna say like I'm very, I was gonna call myself like high demanding, but I'm not sure whether that's it's just
No,
that
I don't
I'm
think
all
so. It's
for
just you know what
quality.
it's supposed to look like, and
Yeah, but and also I want
you
the
know what people's
quality.
potential is as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when you know the potential and they don't meet up to it, it's frustrating.
yeah.
And, you know, that's something I deal with too, being a school teacher. Um, when you
Yeah, but
know
and
what
that
someone can
yeah,
do, and
yeah.
then they're kind of in the I
Yeah, and
can't,
that's
and
I
you're like,
think
yeah, you can.
most of my frustration comes from that. It's that the only reason I work with you and with you, but with you like with, yeah, the
Yeah.
only I only work with people that I see something in these people, and
Hmm.
often, and that was the same with you in the beginning. You don't see that in yourself yet,
Yeah.
but I see it, and then yeah, I do get frustrated when I'm like. uh, I know you can
Yeah.
do this, but you're not. So you're in your own way, like you're sabotaging yourself.
Yeah.
And what is it? And like I said, like I'm super forgiving,
Yeah.
but you have to
You have to tell.
okay, you have to tell me, yeah. And also because if you don't tell me, I cannot help you, and I can
Exactly.
help you. I can help you, yeah,
But
because that's
that's
my thing.
the thing. When you are working in a team, you have to constantly be
Yeah,
checking in.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm just trying to think of moments when we failed in that, and whether we can share that. I'm just trying. Because
um,
we've been at it
a long time.
for quite a long time.
Um,
Well, I think okay. So I think okay. So one of the things that's always that's actually one of my biggest frustration um, is that when
mhm.
I ask something of someone, like
Yeah.
people tend to think I need it on the spot.
Yeah.
So for some reason, when I say, "Oh, could you do this for me?" People are like, "Yeah, but I'm getting my hair cut now, and then I have groceries, but then I'm on it." I'm like, in 2 weeks, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, so there's
I think
some
sometimes
sort of,
you think that I'm being like that when I'm like, no, I'm just telling you what my week looks like.
yeah, could be, yeah. But I do, that I do have this with a lot of
I know
people.
that you do that. But yeah. And I think in terms of also like working and like you just need to be fluid. And because
Yeah, you
like
need to be,
we plan things and sometimes it doesn't work that way.
yeah,
And I'll be in the middle of writing, and I'm riffing off conversation between characters. And, I'm trying to get to a point. Well, sometimes that point just doesn't fit.
yeah,
And that's when it's like, oh, okay, well, right. And if you're not awake or something, I will buff around it and go around it in circles until I can talk to you about it.
yeah, great, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is so this is gonna, this has to be the biggest fun, the biggest, not the biggest,
Yeah.
that's weird. I'm losing my English. This has to be like the biggest pro of me
Hmm.
being up earlier than you, because you get the honor of waking up to a
To
wall
a
of text
whole lot of
messages
texts.
almost, because I'll be like, once you get up, I'll be in full work mode.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's funny
yeah,
because like, so my phone is set to
I'm
do not
trying to
disturb
improve.
until 6.
Yeah, and I do
Andrew's
try.
first alarm isn't until quarter to
Yeah,
7.
yeah.
But
So I do
sometimes
try. I've been
my wall of
trying.
text wakes him up.
Yeah, and I have
But
been
it's not
better
just
at that,
you.
I think. Yeah,
It's also the
yeah,
subbing app starts
yeah,
dinging early these days too. But
yeah. Yeah, but it's fun, right? It's like
yeah,
but that's like, so this is something that I need to learn, because I realize that when I ask something of people, they have the
yeah,
feeling, even if I say I don't need this right now, they'll be
hmm,
like, I'll drop whatever I'm doing and I'll give it to you. And I'm like, that's very generous, but I actually don't need it right now.
yeah,
So I've been trying better at that. Like, can I get this by that date? So
yeah.
just add it
And I
in the
think
communication.
yeah, just being
And
more clear on when you want it. and not.
Yeah, and I've also been with you, like I've been checking the hour, like when I go, because I can be
Yeah.
like my mind can be whirring with ideas, and then I just like I need to write it down. And these days I'm trying to write it down elsewhere. So this is
Yeah.
a little sub chapter in this conversation, co-writing with someone on your time zone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we've always been in completely different time zones.
yeah, because when we met, you
I
were
was in China.
5 hours ahead, I think.
I think I was 6.
So, oh yeah, even
I
6.
was
Yeah,
6 hours ahead of you. Yeah, so
yeah,
it's reversed now, but
yeah.
yeah, I was
And
6 hours ahead of you. So
now it's 7 hours. You know, you're 7 hours behind
yeah,
in my current time zone. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
of
this is
daylights.
so yeah, so communication is you don't just need to be explicit about simply everything.
Yeah.
And I think like vulnerable as well. Like if it's
Yeah.
not working for whatever reason.
Hmm.
And what my struggle was when we first started doing this, is that like it's a co-writing project, so I want to honor your voice. And I
Hmm.
know that the deal is very simple. I I write the plot,
Hmm.
you okay the plot, you write like the skeleton first draft, then I go over that. And
Yeah.
it took me until the third book
Yeah.
that I was felt more free to just like, not working.
Yeah.
Just delete. And if I'm
Hmm.
not sure, I'll just put it like I'll put it in a separate folder in Scrivener.
Yeah, and
But
that's the
I
thing
won't delete.
too.
And we never delete anything. We always make a
No,
like
we
we
always
have a
have ghost
backup.
files,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like especially usually when you're questioning, it's something that I've written in idiom.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Because there's a much like to our books, there's like a Scottish flair,
hmm, and I
and I
grew up in the
might
Gaeltacht,
yeah,
so
and
it's easier for me.
I might like my hair looks extremely orange right now. It's the sun, so I might be half Scottish. I don't sound like you. Well, I was born and raised in the Netherlands, of course, but just some of the idiom.
Yeah.
It's gonna get better because this community here is super British and super
Hmm.
Scottish as well. Like a few of the people that I spend a lot of time with are quite Scottish, and I already hear myself starting saying the things that I recognize from my work. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is exactly how they talk. So
Yeah.
I'll get better at that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So communication, very important
Yeah.
in everything you do, but also when you
Every
co-write. And if you're not happy with something,
you have
and
to
I
speak
think
up.
for us, I think when the second book wasn't working, I think what was the greatest part for me was that we didn't go because it's when something's not working, it's very easy to look for blame. Is it
Hmm.
me? Is it you? And what we did,
Yeah.
like, okay, so we were like, okay, so this is just accept it's not working. See if we can fix it. Otherwise, we just start over. But
Yeah.
we weren't going. You weren't going. Your plot sucked. I wasn't
No.
going. Your first draft sucked. We were just like, we're in this. We're in this together.
We're in it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
needed
let's see
to match it
what
up
does
to
work.
structure.
Yeah. And I think we
So,
got like I said, like I haven't looked at it, so I don't know. Like I don't know what
yeah,
it is.
it was in pretty good shape out of coming out of beta last time there. It was really just a lot of almost copy edit type uh,
Oh, that's good because
comments.
we were afraid that our really fast schedule that we would have.
Hmm.
I think we were afraid for this book we needed 3 beta rounds.
I think so, and it
So
doesn't. I think we're pretty much going into finalizing when you touch it.
oh, that's not bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Again, I
So this
think,
is yeah.
yeah, that's something we didn't communicate on.
So let's communicate on it.
Because craziness happened over winter,
Yes.
and we kind of lost touch with. I can't even remember. I had, yeah, it was before Christmas when I finished that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we have a production schedule and it looks pretty and it's color coded and I haven't opened that since January.
I might have opened it in February.
You even have like violets and stuff, like you have a notebook and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I just use washi tape
Yeah.
because just the way that my thing goes, but I haven't touched it.
Yeah,
since
but it's
then.
fine. We just let
Yeah.
because so last year, my summer was crazy.
Yeah.
Then when I got like when my life calmed down, like when I made the decision to move here,
Mm-hmm.
your shit hit the fan. And
In
then
several
once you
spots.
started, yeah, and then when you started to calm down again, I moved.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we are now settling back into. So I know that once NaNoWriMo is over, so 1st of
Yeah.
May, I cannot wait to dig into that book and just go back into the
Yeah.
yeah, and then we'll see. I think our goal is to get it published before the conference. We're going to a conference, 20 books to 50K
Yeah.
in Edinburgh this summer, and I think we want at least one of the books published, but hopefully the whole thing.
We can definitely have 2 for sure, and the 3rd one almost ready to go, I think.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to go through, I think 3 just came out of beta.
I don't know where we are. I don't know where we are on
I'm
three.
just like, I don't know where we are. I think so. I think someone had given you comments. I just have to
Yeah. Oh,
find
yeah, yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. I think we have. I think most
We
of
have
the
a few
betas have
speed
gotten
readers in the
back.
group.
Yeah. I think Andrea mostly.
Yeah, I think so.
She's the
Yeah.
fastest. I think most of us got back on that. I can check in on that. Yeah. Yeah. So
Anyway.
that's second
So
draft.
I should be going through that because I know I haven't gone through them.
But actually, I have to tell you this. I think this will be our fastest book because the comments
I
that I
think so
read.
because it was
But
in
you
good
remember?
shape.
Okay, so this might be interesting to talk about. I did the plot differently
Oh yeah.
because this book was. I've been buffing up the plot as I plotted these books because this third book. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the finalizing of all of the
Yeah.
whole
Whole
of their love
series.
story.
Yeah.
And it was so clear to me. So I already wrote down a lot of dialogue and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that might have sped up the process as well. But there was already like I saw so much of it clearly, and I was
Possibly.
just like, I'm
Um,
just wrote down more.
One thing our viewers might need to know is I don't always listen to your
That's
suggestions.
true. That is true.
Sometimes I go, um, but
Sometimes you
when
go,
you do,
I'm reading. Sometimes I'm reading and I'm like, and that's fine. Sometimes I'm like, no, and then it's just like select text and delete. And sometimes it's like, oh, this is
yeah.
so much better than I could have ever imagined. Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes like you suggest the mood and the stuff, and you give me some dialogue, um, and then I usually reshape it
Yeah. Yeah.
so that it actually flows in,
Yeah.
especially with the arguments and whatnot.
Yeah, but I think the comments that I've seen, the ones that I haven't opened the documents, but the
Yeah,
ones they wrote
same.
in just in the email were quite
Mm-hmm.
positive. So I think
Yeah.
that should be better. Yeah, it's a fun process.
Yeah.
And then we'll take a break, and then we'll write the next series, I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think we're gonna plot that in Scotland. In the
Yeah.
wee
Yeah, I was
hour.
looking at the breakout sessions and it's like, yeah, there's
I
not a whole
haven't
lot of
looked. I
categories.
haven't. I
They
was
just
talking.
posted this week. But,
I know. I had a Zoom call with Catalin yesterday, and we talked about it. And I'm just, for some reason, I'm not there yet in my head.
yeah, I just browsed over it. But there isn't
So,
there isn't a breakout for just literary, so it's me and you and romance.
gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, we can talk about your book and we'll talk about your work in the wee hours. We're talking the
Yeah.
romance during the conference. We'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm still hoping to get a draft of Fletching Out before. We'll see.
Is there anything else we need to say about this?
I don't think so.
I feel like you haven't bitched enough about me, but
I
I
feel
always,
like
I
you
always feel like
anticipate that I should be bitchier, but I
maybe
think
I'm just really a delight to work with.
I think we're
Sorry.
well matched.
I think that's, yeah, I
Uh,
think that's definitely the case.
um,
Yeah.
and I don't think I would work with anyone else. Because I think the things that you think are harder to deal with for you or of you as actually the things that make it easier. Because I know that there's a bar and I need to get to it.
Yeah, you say that.
So,
Yeah, you always say that. Yeah.
And it's true. And it's just like I get frustrated with myself more than I ever get frustrated with you.
I think after, because of course, like I've had people ask me to co-write with them. And this is, of course, I ask you. And you're the only person I co-write with. And I tend to say yes, and then somehow these projects never even start.
Yeah, same.
Yes,
Like
because
there's
I want
been
to
a
be,
few
I want to be very
things.
careful, because there's a very particular level that I want to hit. So we are writing romance now, and these books have, for us, like there isn't as much at stake as there is with our life projects, or like our
Yeah, with our big
our
projects.
big project that we've been working on since. But
Forever.
still, we're very careful
We're still very
with.
careful because, I mean,
We do want to
we needed
write. Yeah,
we needed to
what we
learn
write.
the genre
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
how to, because we're in a genre, but then we're in a niche part of that genre.
yeah,
I think a huge part of it is proper representation is a huge thing with us,
yeah. So
because
we were.
there
Yeah,
are books in our genre that are horribly written, and we just did not want to go there.
yeah. So we had that. Like we were like, this is my thing. Like whatever I do, I'm gonna do it well.
Yeah.
That's just my thing. So this is what, and people who, and this is why some people want to work with me, because they think if I work with you, I can do this fast. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really the fast.
Yeah,
If it happens fast,
then it
that's just
does.
because we're rolling.
Yeah.
But I'll hit the brake when I need to and go like, no, we need to
Yeah.
look over this again.
Hey,
And
it's a
just because,
spiral.
yeah,
We keep going, we think we've gotten through a level and then we're like, oh, well, we're on a whole different level now. And we just kind of keep
yeah.
buffing through
Yeah,
that way.
so this is definitely, so this is why I'm very careful with who I work with on this level, because I know who I like. And the thing is, like, once you get me frustrated,
Yeah.
that is
It's
not
hard to pull out of.
I cannot, like, once I distrust you, yeah, I mean, you haven't been, I don't, yeah, I cannot imagine
No,
you getting to that point. But
I
I'm
hope
sure you
not.
can imagine. I'm
I
sure you
know
can
what it feels
imagine.
like when you're mad
Yeah,
at somebody.
yeah. So yeah, it's
Um,
no fun. Like I said, this is the thing. Like
no, because I'm just
and the
like, I
yeah,
have
yeah,
heartburn. Who are you mad at?
yeah. But this is the thing. This is my thing. This is very much my thing. Is that this doesn't need to happen if you communicate.
Exactly.
There is no. I never get mad if
No,
people just tell
no.
me. I only get
Yeah.
mad if you. The thing is, like, if you work together, you're like keep each other in the loop.
Yeah.
And the
You keep
only
each other in the loop,
feeling I
but also
cannot
that
stand.
fluidity that you need to know that, oh, maybe things need to shift.
Yeah, this is
And not
this
being
is what
so
I wanted. Yeah,
stubborn about plot points.
yeah. Okay, so this is what I wanted to point out a little bit. Like you were talking about the fluidity, and that we have to be flexible. Well, this is the thing. Like you do need to have a structure. So we did need to have a
You need a
production
structure.
plan, but within that structure,
Yeah.
you need to be able to say, okay, this is now. So you have to constantly like check in with each other. Is this still working for
Yeah.
you? Like I said now, like I don't even feel bad that we haven't looked at the production schedule. We'll figure something out. It's all
Yeah.
like what we tend to say, all
It'll
the
be
divine
fine.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just really our thing. But yeah, it's with everything. Like you do need to know where you're going,
Yeah.
or what is, and
Yeah. You
not
need
even,
trajectory.
yeah, but you need to
But you
know
can't be
that,
stuck on
yeah,
small things.
yeah. So I think the communication is necessary to be able to have a
Yeah.
plan, have a direction, while being able to, oh,
Yeah.
there's a detour. Let's just take the detour. It's okay.
Yeah.
have to keep each other in. Like I said, like the most frustrating feeling for me is that if something's happening and I'm not in the loop,
Yeah.
and you know that you've
I
seen that
know
happen a lot.
immediately.
I'm like, I don't know what is going on, and for me there is no and that is because I tend to see the bigger picture.
Yeah,
That's like my superpower. So
definitely.
if one of the cogs isn't turning
Yeah.
in the
You
right
know
way,
exactly which cog it is
yeah, and if the
and
cog
what's
won't tell
sticking
me,
it.
yeah, and but if they don't won't tell me,
It's, yeah.
yeah, then I'm like, then I don't know. Like if I'm just, and that makes me feel very powerless, and that's a very frustrating experience.
Yeah.
Because I also know, like it's easy for me to help,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
need to talk to
Anytime that
me.
we've had any hiccups, it's like we sit down and I mean, I think within half hour to an hour, we've figured things out. I mean, our
Yeah, we
calls
could,
last way longer than that, but
yeah,
usually the issue is dealt with quickly and then, we're on to whatever else.
yeah, we just get on the same page. This is the thing. Like for me, communication is staying on the same page and it's constantly checking in. Which page are you? Okay, I'm here. How can we
Yeah.
bridge that difference? How can we bridge that difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think then the co-writing process can be absolutely fun because
Yeah.
we just use each other's strengths
We do. We do.
and we know each other's weaknesses.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for us to circumvent those and be like, I'll just
Mm-hmm.
do this and then you do that and then you can
Yeah.
worry about that. Yeah. So biggest lesson, communication, not a surprise, goes for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I can imagine us doing this until we're like 80 or something. Like
Oh yeah.
easily. Yeah, this is gonna be, even with this
Yeah.
series, like this is gonna be like such a big world, and I love all these characters. And I actually just the other day, I don't know I don't know when it happened. I don't think I was at home, and I was just typing away on my computer because I had an idea. So
Mm.
I think I know the main arc for this next series. I think
Yeah.
it just I
Yeah,
never
I
know
think
what
you
you're
had
gonna.
an idea for a while, but I think things are
No, this is
clicking.
something else. This is something else.
Oh, a new thing. You haven't communicated.
No, I know, no, because I'm learning that if I have an idea, I don't have to immediately like,
Tell me in
yes,
that minute.
yes, I'm learning that. But the thing is, I tend to do that, and like all the people that I work with, you're all my Evernotes. I'm like, I told you now,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I just need to learn to make notes, and then like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, now is the right time to tell this person then, yeah, instead of just
Yeah.
like a child, like the moment I think something, I'll just be like, I need to tell you this. I'm like, no,
Oh, I've been doing that on you
no.
for a long time.
Well, it's a process and it's called
Yeah,
growth.
it is.
Yeah. Is there anything else we need to?
I don't think
I
so.
hope this was useful. I hope this was
I hope
useful.
so
Like I
too.
said, this is our process.
This is our
But now
process.
it kind of feels like we're just zooming and we're just like checking
Yeah,
in with
which
each other
is
and just
how
having
we
yeah.
roll. I think it's just really important when you pick the person that you're going to riff with that it really that you know you can make something of it and it's someone you really trust.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and and that's mutual. Like I would
mhm.
burn down the world for you.
And vice versa.
Yeah,
Like,
so I think that's actually for me, that made it much more scarier to work with you because I know how I can
yeah,
get. So I was like, so at one point for me, there was much more at stake. Because I was like, if I ruin this by becoming the person that I know I can be when I work with someone, and I want something
hmm,
in a very particular way, and now I almost sound like I make myself come across as really bad. Um,
hmm.
I now realize that. So thank you for this.
It's taken a
And
while. It's taken a
yeah,
while.
I do think I'm a pleasure to work with.
You're very easy to
as
work with.
long as yeah, as long as
As
we
long as
find
there's
each other's
upfront communication. Yeah, there's
that's really good. Yeah, but I
working on this
think
project so much
yeah,
easier than other things I've worked
yeah.
on.
But it's also like when I do get frustrated, at one point I'm just like, you know what, then I'm just gonna walk off
Hmm.
and it's not gonna work. This is why some of the other writing projects that I was gonna do with other people, they just never panned
Yeah.
out because I'm like, yeah, this is not aligned with me. So at one point for me, it was much scarier to do this with you because I was like, there
Hmm.
is so much at stake.
Yeah.
But at the other end, I also know that if at some point we do hit something, like we run into a wall with this or with each other, I know that like I will fix this. Like
Yeah.
I will
There's,
grovel. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, no, there's no breaking us apart.
no,
Yeah,
yeah. So we're good. We're good.
we're fine. Boom.
Do we show our tattoos to people? See, matching tattoos, people. Yeah,
Yep.
it's real. It's real. Okay,
Yep.
darling.
Yep.
This is a pleasure. As I said, I hope
Yes.
this was useful, that in between us being absolutely celebratory of each other, you get some you get some really useful information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
let's see.
And if anyone has any other questions, they can ask us.
You can
If there's anything we
always leave a
missed,
comment, send a message.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
if
get
there's
back to
anything
you.
particular, or if you are struggling with your co-writing and you want like a sounding board, we'll be
Yeah.
happy to get back to you and walk you through this.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I love you, babe.
Love you too.
Bye bye. Talk to you
Bye.
in on WhatsApp in like 2 minutes.
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.